William Ross Wallace was once quoted saying, "Everyone dies, but not everyone really lives." A true, intellectual, and brooding statement that even holds true to the classic cliche. Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it isn't there. From the minute we are born into this world, the only certainty is that our lives will someday end. Many times, never truly living is the reason why many can't pass on. Ghosts, spirits, demons, are they among us? And what happens once our hearts stop beating and our blood stops pumping? Within the last 5 to 8 years, paranormal entertainment has blown into the mainstream, spanning from the ghost hunters all the way to the more recent times of ghost adventures and shows such as Paranormal State, My Ghost Story, and so on and so forth. Paranormal entertainment has become a cornerstone in the media world. And being the curious creatures that we are as human beings, we demand answers. But even with teams bringing us the most valid of evidence, too often the truth is bent. Prepared to carry the paranormal torch, the Ghost Blogs crew is taking matters into their own hands on a search to find the answers for ourselves. I, Kyle Kubitz, along with my fellow investigators, Evan Brewer, and Stephanie Murray, and Ashley Gibson, are going to lead you through the world of the paranormal, all of which leads up to a 100% legitimate paranormal investigation.
Welcome to the world of the paranormal. Join us as we attempt to unveil the other side.
They don't think about the what ifs. What if someone were to get hurt? And spirits, people say, oh, do spirits hurt you or attack you? Well, a lot of people say, no, they can't. I know that's a lie.
I think you take the religious aspect out of it for a minute and just say, all right, there's good and evil. Whether they're demons or whatever, they're evil fucking spirits and they have evil intent. So, you have to be careful because once you let evil in, it's hard to get it out.
I had my hand a couple inches from the doorknob and I heard a really deep voice from behind me that said, "Stop."
Little do people know that paranormal investigation has been around longer than just the invention of night vision. In fact, there are actual sciences linked to the study of the paranormal. we enlisted the help of a psychic medium who teaches at various universities about metaphysics and even parapsychology. So we went to go talk to her to give us a little more of an insight about the unseen.
And there are about 30 to 33 countries right now that teach the parapsychology at university level. I'm Torre, and I'm a psychic medium. I'm also a teacher of metaphysics. I do teach in centers as well as new age shops and private, courses. Teach everything from learning the chakras to protection to development. Mostly it's been from the 1800s where it started showing up, the late 1800s. In J.B. Rhine's Joseph Banks Rhine, and of course is one of the biggies, and he coined the phrase ESP, extrasensory perception. It kick-started, and he tied in with different professors in Duke University and such. And then from the 40s and 50s, it took on a little more interest, where England tied in more. And then in the 70s, Carl Sagan, he really helped tie this in for the science aspect of it with the psychics. And because you have to have facts as a scientist, just like the law, you have to have facts. I try to work with police, the 1-800, the lost, the children thing. I kept piling them up in a pile, and I didn't understand why, in all my mail. And my spirit guide, when I say my guides, my master guide said, "So when are you going to start?" So the first few Amber Alerts that came through the state of Florida, I always had 3 witnesses, and I gave them information, and it was spot on. I'm sure you probably heard when people say psychic, they say, "Don't you mean psycho?" And so I do like facts backed up with everything that I do. So a lot of times I ask for validation. When I'm done, I do not prod and pull questions for people when I read. Lots of times I prefer not to know anything. Just go in completely cold and tell them exactly what I'm feeling and seeing. I've had people find very important things that deal with the deceased, that there was no written word, there was nothing written down. And so that way things could be handled on a legal aspect. I was attacked by a spirit. It was a lady spirit. I was in a man's home who had many goddess pictures and statues, and he was an artist, local artist. And I kept feeling a very uneasy feeling. I got home and there was a nail slice mark between my breasts. She had swiped me hard because I'd gotten sick. And I know when I start getting sick, even this shielded and protected, my guard was down because we were having dinner and we were talking, and the next thing I know, I got very ill. And I said, "I can't stay." And he was burning incenses like crazy. "Please stay." "No, I cannot stay. You have a spirit here who does not want me here." And she's very protective. And he thought I was joking, and he realized later how much I was not joking. You can tell because the more that starts violently happening, and it starts making you feel very sick or ill, you're going to know that is not just your average spirit goes. That is something more that is an energy that was either conjured there, or someone has sent there, or it is rested there. People who are dealing with low magic, dark magic, they are not dealing with, I don't want to say a full deck, they're dealing with a different deck. And I know where my line is. I make my boundaries very clear. I am not someone who does exorcisms, so that's not my gig. Not for me, thank you. When I walk through homes, I'll smell cigars or I'll smell perfume, and that's just someone's way of letting me know they lived in that home. Or, and then if I feel other things, I'm quick to tell them, I'm not going in. Get yourself a holy person, get yourself some other people, because this is not all what I do.
We've all heard the tales of the bumps in the night, and everybody's talked to somebody who has a personal ghost story. But what happens when you are personally confronted by the source of those bumps in the night?
What is your stance as far as believing in the existence of the paranormal?
Well, about a year ago I would have told you, haha, that's funny. But half of me believes, half of me is still skeptical about it. It's stronger towards believing it because, I mean, it frightens me a lot, and when something frightens you, you believe in it more. After that, things got worse. Last July, I moved into my first apartment with AJ, and the first week was fine. Like, it started becoming home. And then one night, in the middle of the night, I was sleeping, and AJ came in and started pounding on my door. I got up and I opened the door, and he was like in tears, and he's like, look at this. And like on his phone was a picture like of this, it looked like a man, completely black, standing by his closet door. And he's like, this thing just walked out of my closet.
I guess how all stories start. One night I was laying in bed. It was about 2:30 a.m. The closet door opened, and that wasn't an uncommon experience, because when the air conditioner kicked on, it would if the door wasn't latched all the way, it would kind of fall open. So it wasn't an uncommon experience, so I didn't really think too much about it. But I'm still laying there trying to go to sleep, and I am just looking at this area that is now an open closet door. And as I'm looking, there was a darkness in the closet, which seemed perfectly normal. And that darkness moved over to the left. And that kind of got my brain ticking a little bit. So I grabbed my phone. My phone has a flash on it for the camera. So I pushed down halfway on the button to get a flash. And when I did, I saw this thing standing at the foot of my bed. To put it bluntly, I flipped my shit. I ran down the hallway, so my whole time running down and cutting across and coming back and pounding on her door, I'm thinking to myself, I'm probably hallucinating. So I'm trying to calm myself down, and she finally opens the door, and this happened over a 15-second period of time. She opens the door, and as she opens the door, I glance down, and I still had my phone clutched in my hand. And as I glanced down, I saw a photo in the preview that in all of the hectic whatever that just happened, I squeezed down all the way on that trigger. And there was the photo of this thing standing at the foot of my bed. It was by far the most unsettling experience of my entire life. I've had things happen with it's just a bump in the night. Everybody has. But this was different. This would have been a bump in the night had it not have been for that picture. I was telling this story to a couple friends of mine in a lab that we had, and a teacher overheard it. And as it so happens to be, he has previous experience in ghost hunting. He's gone on professional ghost hunts and things like that. So he got interested in the conversation, so he asked to see the picture. I believe his words were, "Holy shit, that creeps me out."
What initially attracted me to paranormal investigation, I guess, would be just the television shows and things like that you'd see on TV, and then some small experiences I had when I was a kid, nothing too crazy. Let me start by saying the pictures that AJ brought to me were interesting in the aspect that I've been doing photography now. I mean, I graduated from film school in 1999, like March, early 1999. So I started working at a lighting rental house, and that got me in the lighting thing, but they put me in charge of the still photography department, and I started working with a lot of still photographers. Still photography was not something that interested me a lot. Then I started working with these photographers and realized what an amazing job that is to be able to take one snap and tell an interesting story in one shot. And I started to understand how a lot of things work with still photography. So I can go online and tear ghost pictures apart. I worked on Photoshop. I understand, you know, faked photography. And what was interesting about those shots was there's just things in there that would be difficult to fake and not be able to notice as somebody that knows, you know, Photoshop, knows digital photography, knows, you know, even film photography, you know, different ways to overlay things and make it look fake. It would be difficult to do that with what I saw in his images. And you could tell that the photograph was taken from not a very well pixelated telephone, camera, and he told me that it was his cell phone, and I believe him by looking at it, because you can tell it's not, you know, a 21.1 megapixel camera. You can tell it's a lower quality one, and it's in motion. You could tell that he was in the motion of getting up and was, you know, either frightened or wanting to get the hell out of the room, and took the snapshot. And to motion blur and have something looking in motion like it did, to just go and sit down and try to fake something like that and make it look as real as that photograph came across, I just can't see. You know, I've blown it up, I printed them out, I did a lot of different things with them. I put them in Photoshop, I changed different intensities on the hues and the values, because a lot of times you can see cuts where people have pasted things in when you do things like that. I did all that, and it's a smooth, complete, everything's integrated shot. And what was interesting to me on it, when you really blow it up and really look at it on a computer and really get in there, you can see a defined outline. You can tell that it's a hooded figure. You also can tell that it's standing in the corner of a room, but it is standing off the wall, and its left shoulder is in the wall. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it right now. It's a freaky, freaky picture. Shadow people are intriguing in general because nobody really knows what they are. Most people will deny the fact that they're demonic, that they're demons. They don't know exactly what they are. They don't like to be seen. If you approach them, they'll run from you, they'll hide. Shadow people are confusing, but to me, being that that's a hooded, cloaked figure, that doesn't come across to me as a shadow figure. It seems something a lot more sinister. The thing is, you take the religious aspect out of it for a minute and just say, all right, there's good and evil. Whether they're demons or whatever, they're evil fucking spirits and they have evil intent. And then you have to be careful, because once you let evil in, it's hard to get it out.
Could you please start by stating your name and occupation?
My name is Sean Porter with GhostStop.com. We're selling ghost hunting equipment. In 2006, I joined the Florida Ghost Team, which was a part of the TYPOS family. The TYPOS is actually the group that does show ghost hunters. And they have families of teams across the country to take care of cases, and primarily residentials and families that have problems in their home. So when I was about 5 or 6 years old, I got up out of my bed, went to the door, had my hand a couple inches from the doorknob, and I heard a really deep voice from behind me that said, "Stop." You know, other instances happen, you know, after that you kind of couple them together and go, okay, there's something weird going on that I can't quite explain. About 2 years ago, in Ybor City, Florida, there's a place out there called the Italian Club. Funny thing is, I actually have it on audio, and it sounds like somebody saying in a whispered voice, "I'm here."
What? I know.
Having a video camera with me is always my favorite, but I always go with the full spectrum cameras, and the full spectrum cameras are ones that we modify specifically that open up the light further beyond what we see with our naked eyes. So essentially over here we have all the full spectrum cameras that we custom make with my partner, starting from just a simple point and shoot camera to a more pro version. This is more of a pocket night vision camcorder, and these are both HD full spectrum camcorders. Some people believe the reason we don't see ghosts is because they show themselves beyond what we can see with our own eyes. So if you look at the way the light spectrum works, that might be in infrared, that might be in ultraviolet. So we open up these cameras so that it can see what we see, plus the addition of infrared and ultraviolets. And the EMF meters are electromagnetic frequency detectors, so they detect abnormalities and frequencies that are around us all the time. A lot of these are specifically made to find out if you have dangerous leaks in your house, specifically like the K2 that's built for detecting dangerous fields in your home. So this is one of the digital EMF meters like I was talking about. This one has multiple features. It wears a lot of hats. It has EMF readings at the top and ambient temperature readings at the bottom. Again, it's digital, so you're getting a really accurate reading, really fast. This is what's happening in the environment. So if you have claims of footsteps, you can essentially put that on the floor, and if the footstep is enough to where it's actually going to vibrate the floor, it'll tell you that you've got something going on. To me, great evidence is not just a piece of audio, or a piece of video, or a personal experience. It's multiples of those added together that equals great evidence. So once you put all of that together, that you have to look at as abnormal, paranormal.
As far as the equipment goes, it's not a science. People try to, the guys I work for and then the guys on TV show will sit there and act like they've got a degree in paranormal education. They do not. There's no such thing. You run into a lot of people out there that I feel are like snake oil salesmen. They're looking to get on reality shows. They're looking to, they're not there for the passion and really finding out what's out there. They care about being on TV and trying to make themselves famous.
And then I can help her. And they'll get mad at us because we crossed over one of their local spirits, but who cares? Ready, go to the closet, get her out here. Hey, tough guy. I see you. You think I don't see you? You're wrong.
Yeah, I know you do. I heard you. Come here.
That's right. Pitch a fit.
Which, it's fine. That's an avenue that they're going through. But there is a level of entertainment that has to come with that, and they have to act crazy and act, oh my God, everything's freaking me out, and it draws us in when we watch it. But when you're there, you're sitting in a dark room sometimes for 4 or 5 hours and nothing's happening.
Your entertainment.
You're reacting because there's so many people that want to believe so bad that they'll do whatever it takes to make you believe. And working with some of these people on the investigation group that I was in, there's been a few things that I caught people doing that pissed me off. It's like, we're not here. Why? What good is it to knock in the dark on a wall? I saw you do it.
A lot of what you see on TV is either edited, not necessarily the groups that are on the TV show, but the production companies.
Because I'm there truly interested, and if it isn't real, I don't need Joey to knock on a wall to try to make me think it's real.
I also feel like this is something that should be honored a little more than just the ghost busting people on TV, because I really think people have a lot to learn about the science, the belief systems.
They have to do their job, they have to get the ratings, So, you can't blame them for doing what they need to do to sell ads and get a bill.
There are such things as the paranormal. Things that aren't normal. That's just the simple layman's terms of how to describe the word paranormal. When shit ain't right.
Put your psychic armor up, put your protection up, put your shields up. You have to, because if you go in, especially investigating, where someone is not welcome, you're gonna know it.
And be careful what you're doing to request interaction.
Be careful of those that you investigate with. Be sure that you really trust them.
Somebody gets sick, camera breaks, equipment's not working, that's why. You're not invited to their party.
The other answers are out there. And it's up to you and it's up to me to find those answers.
We're in Pembroke Pines, Florida. Unfortunately, we can't disclose the location. but it is an abandoned facility. It has a very long history. It opened its doors in 1954.
It was a mental health facility. It was one of the largest in South Florida, practically the only one of this sort. They've done just about everything here at this place over the years, from electroshock therapy, water treatments,
Lobotomies.
just about everything you could possibly think of. It was mostly for the criminally insane.
People got to do things different to get different results.
If you don't have the patience to sit in a dark room for hours on end and talk to yourself, this is not for you. Because what you see on TV is not reality.
I was very apprehensive about coming. I kept calling him, telling him, okay, I'm really nervous about coming here. Not a good place to be. Did not feel welcome or wanting to go here.
It's definitely come in with an open mind. If you come closed-minded, I will comfortably say nothing will happen.
I personally, I'll provoke because that's just my personality. I will be soft if I need to, but when I go in and if I'm not as sensitive by any sense, I have the sensitivity of a cabbage. That's why I use a lot of the different equipment.
When you go to a location, treat it as you're visiting a friend's house and give them that kind of respect to the spirits or souls that are at their location.
I can almost guarantee you're going to come away with some pretty good EVPs out of this place because we've already picked up EVPs already.
Due to the fact that this is a facility for mentally ill individuals, you also have to keep in mind that they're emotionally distraught as well. So we may be dealing with some that are violent, and if you're scared, you tend to get violent.
Alright, so basically we're getting ready to head over to Pembroke Pines to do the investigation at the mental institute. So I'm gonna pack up our equipment and head out. Just checked everything over in the car, so we're gonna start switching things over. Got all their equipment right here for the most part. We're ready to go on this. Do you have everything you need?
Due to the fact that we had over 200 miles to cover on our trip to the asylum, we had plenty of time to mentally prepare ourselves. Even though we knew this investigation could prove dangerous, we were still excited nonetheless.
Right now we're heading down to Pembroke Pines.
There's some nice stuff over there, but we're driving this way, so.
That's how we want it, though. We want to be in the creepiest area possible. Like, I hope there's nothing but decrepit trees and broken down shit, like a pillar gate. Like, I've really got high expectations for this
Like
location.
those flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz.
Dude, if this place has flying monkeys, it's a win. We'll Charlie Sheen that shit. Kids, don't ever go into movie making because it's too damn expensive. This is where most of your budget's gonna go. So basically, we just made it into Pembroke Pines. We are 2.6 miles away from the asylum. We're gonna try and see if we can communicate with some, hopefully, I'd like to find some pissed off entities. I'd like to see how heavy shit gets. But we're gonna be using various different equipment. Everything that you guys are about to see is 100% real. That's why we're doing this, is to give a look at what really goes into paranormal investigation, because to a lot of people, it's become a watered down art and something people don't take seriously. So we're about to do a 135% legitimate lockdown at an old insane asylum, and everything you are about to see is 100% real. And buckle in, because you're coming along for the ride.
My heart's beating faster.
I know, right? Like my pulse is just going. Here we go. This is our location. Holy shit, baby! Oh my god.
Dude, this thing is huge.
Oh my god. Hi, is this Roy or John?
Oh, dude, that way in that back is gonna
Hey, this is Kyle. We are at the hospital, but we don't know where you guys are located roughly.
There's electricity. Those lights are on back there. Unless there's no electricity and the ghosts are turning the lights on.
We finally arrived at the asylum after a 3-hour and 45-minute drive. Roy Hall, the head of the Paratrack TV crew, prepared us for the location.
1 or 2 serial killers that were here that died here. But serial killers can be nice guys. You know,
they always say he was a
right.
normal guy.
Yeah, he was. Hell, the neighbors loved him.
Exactly.
You know, just people he chopped up didn't care too much for him.
The location did not disappoint, and although we were excited to learn more about the asylum, we first had to set up our base. Since a part of the asylum is an operational female prison, we were able to get electrical feeds into some of the rooms.
Alright, so basically if you look around, we've got camp set up here.
A small classroom just off of the prison wing served as our base. Once we were all set to go, we gathered together for a tour through the asylum, led by a psychic medium.
Thank you very much.
The following interviews were shot mid-investigation.
Thank you.
Oh, wait until the next week.
I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you get that line. I got you in front of me. Wherever I go, okay? Yeah, don't worry, I got you.
I don't know whether it's because not very many people have come here. They're very standoffish. I mean, you'll get into a room and they'll leave. I've had a lot of that.
Real quick, Evan, if you have your cell phone on, silence it.
It is.
Okay.
What I have been picking up, even before we got here, I was really nervous about coming.
Due to a bunch of lawsuits from the staff, mostly being cruel to the patients, a lot of allegations of sex abuse and violence against the patients that were here.
And it was overcrowded, and there were a lot of allegations for lack of care.
And I believe it operated right up until about 2008 when they finally closed it down.
Somebody looked like a woman right here.
What kind of retreating because we're here?
She's interested in finding out why we're here.
We were led through almost every wing of the asylum, seeing everything from classrooms to the morgue.
But why is it always in the bathroom?
It brings me to being able to see what it was like before.
due to the fact that this is a facility for mentally ill individuals, you also have to keep in mind that they're emotionally distraught as well. So we may be dealing with some that are violent, and if you're scared, you tend to get violent. We need to be aware of those possibilities. There may be some violent phenomenon taking place, or it just might be quiet.
Roy has some questions for that particular gentleman.
It's always hard being a medium because there's times that you look at it and I do not play it up. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend I'm something I'm not. And you have good days and you have bad days. Energy.
Got a little lightheaded in there.
Wobble.
But it seems like the place has got a lot of activity in here. A lot of the things that are going on in here, you can tell that they're pretty skittish, which is to be expected if you were in this place for any length of time and the staff wasn't treating you too well. You're probably a little bit afraid of people walking around anyway.
X-ray room. Yeah, and you'll find that. Actually, there is a room here that has old jars of formaldehyde in it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just yeah. Operating more and electroshock more first. This is because of policy.
But the longer you're here, the more I think they'll get used to you and come around to you. This definitely isn't a place that you'd want to do much provoking. I wouldn't recommend it.
All right, we're rolling. All right, guys, I know you're new to having people come and visit you, but we're here to communicate with you. We want to talk to you. We want to find out about your life, about who you are. So don't be afraid to come and contact us and come talk to us, because that's what we're here for. Right there's the cage up to the roof. Probably locked. Anybody down here? We hear that this place housed many of the criminally insane. Now we want to know what you did to get in here. We're coming to find you. I'm gonna get out. All right, right now, so everybody at home, so you can see, busting out the Mel meter. And basically what this thing is gonna do, it's gonna give us a base reading. See, it's 89 up here right now. There's no fluctuation. We're going to keep looking for this. If anything comes in and changes the temperature, any electromagnetic fields of energy come in around this, close to that blue antenna you see right there, this thing's going to sound off. So.
During the investigation, we are also constantly rolling on 2 separate EVP recorders.
If you want to get in contact with us, or if there's anything you have to say and you want to get our attention, hang on. See this? We got a 2, 1, it's going back down to 1. You were right here, where are you? This way? Oh, yeah, dude.
We're just interested.
Oh, yeah. You're doing a great job. Dude, look, it's spiking to a 5. It's back down to 4, 3. You're doing a great job. You don't have to run away from us. Let's move down that hallway. You're doing a great job. It's up to a 6, back down to a 5. If there's a place that you want us to go in particular, you guys. Was that you? If that was you making a noise for us, can you do it again? Can you speak loud enough for us to hear you? It spikes up right in this area. We can feel your presence. We have a reading here that you're here. Can you do me a favor? Do you want us to go to the left room or to the right room? Can you tap on the door or make a noise in which direction you want us to go? We hear a lot of the people that were kept here did some pretty bad things, some pretty unforgivable things. So what's your story? What did you do to end up here?
It was mostly for the criminally insane. People that they couldn't put into a regular prison or put into a regular mental health facility because they were dangerous to society.
Receiving no further responses, we decided it was a good time to split up.
There we go. All right, I'm gonna go down there with the EVP. You guys stay down here.
3rd floor hallway.
Ghost box. All right.
Evan was going to head down the opposite end of the hall, while Steph and Ashley stayed by the nurse's station, and I would further investigate the activity we had just encountered.
And I want you to communicate with me if you can do so. If you're okay with me coming down there, knock once. If you don't want me, knock twice. This strange ball of light goes from the bottom of the screen and then over to the handrail. Is it possible that this ball of light is a spirit using the handrails even after death?
Yes, does anybody want to talk to us? Just bang one more time to let us know that it's you.
You were making plenty of noises before. Where are you now?
We had just captured our first EVP of the night. It seems to be a sarcastic spirit poking fun at my question. Here is a Class A EVP. This was exciting to discover, but I had no idea of what I would capture next.
Even a noise would be perfectly fine. Knock on a wall?
I had no idea that even though I had gone down the hallway by myself, I wasn't alone at all. Here we see what could very possibly be the bust of a woman that follows down to her stomach outlined here. But when we examine the back of the figure, it seems as though there is no defined outline other than a large hump on her back and the 2 trails of what may have been partially manifested arms. When people claim to see a spirit, they say they look as human as anyone else. What you have just seen is possibly what happens when a spirit attempts to manifest.
I'm kind of hoping that I can find this girl and find out, why she's still here. I just had somebody look like a woman right here. Trying to, if she's interested in finding out why we're here. Whether she needs help or she just wants to get her story out.
Came up with documented evidence of a woman who spent 25 years here without any kind of treatment.
This is what we believe could be one of the many women who had suffered in their time at the asylum, whether staff or patient. From this point on, I believe that I am being followed by something. My reason for this is soon to come.
Say it into this little black microphone. Now, if there's anything you want to say to me, you can say it into this little black microphone.
You may even have something attach itself to you. Sometimes there are places like this that are abandoned are also nesting grounds for what we believe to be inhuman, or what other people call demonic.
Camera just went off, we're back up and rolling.
After examining the hall, I met back up with Evan.
See this paper towel? Piece of cardboard right here? If you want to tell us something, anything, move that towel.
Evan and I sat there for a solid 10 minutes before finally calling it quits. After getting no interaction, we decided to head back and meet up with the girls.
Not interacting with us isn't going to get us to go away any sooner. We're here for a while. We're your visitors overnight. If you want us out of here, make us get out of here. So someone better step up and show us where you are. Did you guys hear anything? See anything? Anything? Noises down there again. The girls say you keep making noise. Can you make a noise for me now? I know you're here. I can feel you. I can hear you. So why not stop beating around the bush? Why don't you come out and talk to me? Many of you fed off fear when you were alive. Scare me. Show me what had so many people terrified when you were alive.
I set my camera on a shelf in the room at the end of the hall and attempted to make contact with any spirits that may be around me.
All right, here I am.
Within the fourth time of being here with another investigator, they used a different technique, which was being friendly. And I saw more come out of that.
I'm sure not a lot of people wanted to hear your side of the story or give you the time of day. I'm here for that. I know what it's like to make mistakes, to do things that a lot of people say are wrong. I know what it's like to be misunderstood. I'm sure you're not a huge fan of having me in here. All you have to do is make a noise or yell at me. Make it known to me that you don't want me in here. Are you walking around me? What is that? Are you circling me? How many of you are there?
Initially, when I heard this clicking sound, I thought it came from the window, but upon review, it came from the camera.
If that was you, can you do it again?
My camera had mysteriously shut off a few times that night, and now I have reason to believe that the malfunctions could have been caused by a ghost who didn't want me filming. Evan and I regrouped and ended up at the beauty salon on the first floor, while the girls were on the third floor doing an EVP session.
Does anyone want to do my hair? I'm waiting. I want you to come over here and I want you to grab those scissors. And I want you to cut my buddy Evan's hair. He's got a date coming up. He's got to look really nice. So why don't you come over here and cut his hair? All right. Fuck, no power. I gotta change batteries. What? I gotta change batteries real quick. Yeah. Where are you? Evan? Where are you?
These spirits wander all through here.
They do. They know that they've got plenty of range. There's no reason for them to stay by us.
He tried to hold his ground real quick and then he got scared and ran. That's what I think.
Are you afraid of us? Because you can see us. We can't see you.
As we turn to exit the room, the throw of our full spectrum light is blocked by something unseen. Immediately after this, we received an EMF spike, indicating the presence of a spirit.
We're at a 6 right now, 5, 2.
Then, immediately after that, Evan and I captured this chilling EVP in the hallway.
Where'd you run off to?
I heard something. You want me to leave? No, dude, it fucking ran off again. Just whatever was in here just ran off again.
We're playing tag with these guys now.
Why y'all keep running away from us? We're not gonna do anything, I promise.
At around 1:34, the Ghost Blogs crew rejoined to do a PX session with the Paratrek crew in one of the surgical rooms. A PX device is a piece of equipment that allows spirits to manipulate basic grammatical structures and form them into sentences. It's been referred to as the paranormal speak and spell.
It's at a 7 right now.
Could the spirit speaking through the PX device be referring to Ashley and Stephanie, the girls on our crew?
Who is that? Who is that?
Well, Emily.
This piece of evidence is connected to an experience that one of our crew members had, which will be shared with you after the investigation.
You guys try and hide from the doctors? Do you like any of the doctors?
I got a stuffed turtle right here if anyone wants that. There you go. Want that stuffed turtle?
What? How about Abraham Lincoln? Yeah, Abraham Lincoln and Obama. You don't like him?
We didn't get a response for quite some time, until...
Just going 6, 7, 6, 7.
Would it be possible for you to just make a noise or make sure that we know that you're still in here with us?
Did he say Barack?
He did. He said Barack.
Obama, that's right.
Cool.
This response is a perfect example of the relevance we investigators look for, a direct, intelligent response. The final words that were spoken from the PX device were a little more unsettling. Once the PX session was through, we ventured into a separate surgical room to kick off an EVP sweep.
Is there anybody in here with us? What is your name?
We continued through the asylum on what seemed to be an activity dry spell. No matter what room we entered or wing we crossed, we could get no signs of a presence. Evan and I switched duties, him now working the camera and me with my digital recorder as we continued the sweep.
Shower area, and if they're saying that there was male sexual abuse, then we should go take a look at it.
A lot of allegations of sex abuse and violence against the patients that were here.
We're coming back into the bathroom to talk to you guys. Are you still in here with us? Did something bad happen in this shower?
A lot of the staff members here were actually living in poverty. They were so underpaid, and that's probably one of the reasons that they started becoming so cruel to the patients, because they were taking it out on them.
From this 34-minute sweep, we gathered 0 EVPs. Joe and Ollie, the guest investigators with Paratrack, came to tell us that it was time to get ready to leave. So in a final attempt to gather some evidence, Evan and I head down the patient room wing of the 2nd floor.
Oh, by the way, Kyle, I'm killing the rule of thirds on you right now. This whole time. We've even got an open door. They want us to come here. Ooh. Yeah, we have not been down here yet. Get your mail. You want me to hold the mail? Yeah.
Before Evan and I even started venturing down the hall, we captured a heartbreaking EVP.
That's probably not that.
This voice sounds helpless, as if he is reaching out to Evan and I for comfort.
During a lot of that time that they were putting him in here, a lot of the people, from what I was reading, may not have been actually insane. I mean, of course, after you're in a place like this for so long, you're crazy either way.
Oh my god, dude. I just saw something move down at the end of that hall. Well, let's go down. Let's do it. I saw you move. Can you come back for us? Can you walk through the hallway?
These green beads of light are coming from a laser grid used to see movement in the darkness, particularly mists and shadow figures.
The whole theory behind this is if something moves in front of it, you're going to see the dots get covered.
You don't have to run away. We're here to talk to you. We just want to chat. We want to be your friends. What'd you hear? I just got a moan. It's clear as day too.
The moan I just heard was captured on our digital recorder.
Speak into this microphone and we'll be able to hear you. Now, whoever's not shy can come and talk to us. We're down for a chat, you know. You don't have to be afraid of us. Hello? We're coming in, just let anyone know. Are there any patients here? Dude, I feel like something's here. Right now.
This noise I just heard came from the hall outside of the isolation room. Evan and I are quick to investigate.
Where y'all going?
Evan and I both capture this next piece of evidence on completely separate pieces of equipment. It is the final piece of evidence we captured before our camera died. And what makes this EVP so special to me is the spirit is singling me out.
You don't need to be afraid of us, really. I mean, someone came to where I live and it's a total stranger. I know we're total strangers, but we're here with the other people, so it's okay. We're just getting off doing our own thing. Oh, Kyle, come here.
This spirit clearly and distinctly calls my name. Here's both clips from camera and digital recorder. We captured a lot of evidence while at the asylum, but one piece of evidence that we cannot ignore was captured during the interviews, which can be softly heard in the background. Here is the most violent EVP that we captured while at the Pembroke Asylum.
Things that they were doing with the patients at this location was instead of really treating them for their mental illnesses, what they were doing is just drugging them. Maybe it was for their own safety, for the safety of the staff.
Love her.
When we first got there, I mean, the other group that we were with already went in, mostly guys, but me and Steph were the only girls, and we were like the last ones to walk in, and as soon as we walked in, it said girls on the PX device. We were like, ooh, that's creepy, you know, like the only two girls walking in and responded to us right away. I'm sitting down on the floor, I just felt like it was like a human hand like touching my face, and I had to actually touch my face to make sure that what I was feeling was like actually there. And as soon as I'm like feeling this, I get getting this like sensation and everything. Over the PX device it says, love her. And you know, like I'm like freaking out a little bit at this point, like, is this like talking to me directly? Like, what's this all about? Like, it was just like creepy, like, you know, like that was the first time I ever had like something touch me like that. You know what a hand feels like, especially on your face. So it's just weird to feel that when I've never felt like a ghost interaction like that before.
We ventured to Pembroke Pines in hopes of coming face to face with the world of the unknown. In turn, we received some amazing pieces of evidence, some of which is our best to date. The history of the Pembroke Asylum still rings through the halls.
We have presented what we believe could possibly be evidence of the existence of the paranormal, in hopes of shedding a light into the world of the unknown. We don't go, hey, this is a ghost, this is what we believe could possibly be evidence of the paranormal. We're never shoving it down anybody's throat. People tell us that we run the risk of messing with some bad spirits, whether they're nice, pissed off, angry, anything like that. I don't want us to stop until we've encountered every single time, because that's how you get the evidence.